Generally, it's not so difficult to find your sit bones because they're always in the same place in yourself, and yourself is normally in the same place, right smack dab on the piano bench. So how are they today? Are they a little bit, unequal or equal? Are you a little behind them or in front of them? Or is it different from yesterday, different from last week? And if you tried, let's say, to do a Barmy bunnies with the left hand going upwards, like this, do you feel, what happens in your sit bones? For instance, if I try this, I can almost feel like, is there some sort of clenching? Like, do I actually do this in some sort of tight-ass way? I'm sorry for my language. But really try to feel whether do your sits bones and all the musculature around the sits bones, as you're there in the chair, and you go to the key, and does something change in your sitting just from getting your hand to the key? And then if you do a Barmy bunny, is there really no activity in the musculature of the sits bones at all? Or is there some subtle, actual, some clenching or some flexion or some release or some change? And do it very lightly and try it in different parts of the keyboard. Yeah, but always, it's quite fascinating to really, really keep touch with the sit bones as you do something as simple as that. Yeah. And then try the other hand and going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And is this hand different? Does your ass get more or less involved when your right hand plays compared to your left? Sorry. Yeah. And then try one and the other. Like that. And see whether you actually develop a certain, my God, is there a certain orientation of the body more towards one sit bone and then more towards the other? Do you rock left, rock right? Do you rock right, rock left as you go from one to the other? So don't do it consciously, like on purpose, but feel. For me, as I do the Barmy bunnies with the left hand going right, it actually pulls my body over onto the right sit bone, and then I do the right hand going left and it pulls me back to the left. But is that the same for you? If I did Barmy bunnies less cross body and then more straight up or more in another direction, can I change the effect the moving arm has on my sitting? So it's a very fun way just to start to be aware that if you just move, hang your arm in front of yourself. Just put your arm in front of yourself. Float your arm in front of yourself, and float your arm somewhere more to the left. Okay. Now, can you do that without your sits bones changing? Well, no. If you just move your arm 5 centimeters, 2 inches, your sits bones will change. If you move your arm forward, the sits bones have to change. If the sits bones don't change, if you move your arm anywhere in space, diagonally up, diagonally down, across, forward, back, circles, if your sits bones remain in one relationship to the bench and do not change, you're as tight as a, I don't know what. So try it. Try and really just use your arms as ballast. Oh, the ballast shifted in the ship. Well, if the ballast shifts in the ship, then the ship will change the way it floats on the water. So have your whole body be so free that any subtle change of one arm or the other arm completely translates into a change in the way the two sits bones carry the weight of the torso. Behind the sits bones, in front of the sits bones, more on the right, more on the left, shifting constantly. The spine supple to adapt to those shifts in the most efficient manner possible. Yeah? And then again, keeping that heightened awareness of the ballast of the arm relating to the torso balanced on the sits bones. Again, this way and that way. And it becomes a kind of a symbiotic thing. Is it as if my sits bones generate these notes? My sits bones generate these notes. Or is it just that these notes happen because of my arm, and the equal and opposite reaction ripples back to the sits bones? Are the sits bones more proactive, or more, is the change in the weight of the sits bones more a result of what my arms are doing? Or is it actually symbiotic? Is it actually both? Does my arm move to pull my pelvis somewhere, or does my pelvis move to bring my arm somewhere? Or is it both? Okay. Good. Let your arms hang by your sides. Take a break. Notice whether you're sitting differently from 5 minutes ago. Are you more or less upright? Are you more or less balanced on the precise midpoint of your sits bones? And is there more equality between left and right? Do the arms feel more or less the same length? Would you please lay your left hand on key with your second finger on a black note, and gently cock the hand. That means the hand moves into an extension. Just that, cock the hand like that. And could you do that without your pelvis changing its way of sitting on the bench? Normally, if you cock the hand, the pelvis will rock back. It's as if the pelvis is pulling the hand into extension. Do it that way. With the hands, with the heel of the hand on the keys. That's it. So the fingers are actually hitting the backboard, so that you can cock the hand with the heel resting on the white keys. That's it. And your body's not involved enough, hands, because it's mechanical. Like, look, it's organic. It's not, watch, mechanical. Try it like that, mechanical, and feel how you feel in your body. Feel how you feel through your entire torso when you just do a mechanical movement of the hand. And then rock the pelvis back to cock the hand, and feel how different that feels in the self. So mechanical, blech, rock back. Nice. I mean, I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth or experiences in your impressions or interpretations through your experience, but try to feel that the degree to which the body resonates with this simple cocking motion of the hand, that degree, the relationship with the keys is something pleasant rather than something imposed and isolated and cut. Yeah? And now, chuckling chicken, which is this plucking the finger back. So in addition to cocking the hand, that is bringing the hand into extension, I will now very tightly curl this second finger. Hands, please don't do it without your body. I'm sorry. Like something, it's like, watch the inertness of my body.
I was just watching you. I was not yet started yet.
Oh, because I saw your hand do something. Oh.
Yeah, I was watching what you were doing. I just felt my finger.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I know what you mean about the body.
Yeah. But it's interesting to try both ways. I'm going to consciously kind of almost inhibit my body from moving, and I'm just going to do a chuckling chicken, which is totally isolated. And this, of course, is the old finger action school in its worst incarnation. And then you really free your pelvis. And if your pelvis is really free, even if you do not intend it, you do a chuckling chicken, the torso has to move. It may not be much, but if I don't do it, and I can feel, if I don't do it, I can feel all the muscles around my sits bones, right down there, like they go. So see if you can feel that. Try to do it in a bad way, in a way where you feel some flexion, something right there in the muscles along the inside of the groin, just in front of the sits bones, like that. And then you try to do something to do a really vigorous chuckling chicklets, and you let the body be free. And you can even do two, and you can even do them coming forward. You could even do something like that. But look, as long as the pelvis is in action, look at that. It looks like the hand is immobilized, and yet it's not tense, it's not rigid, it's not shut down. Because the body is in motion. It doesn't have to be very much in motion. Look, even here, my body's in motion. It's very slow, but it's very different from no motion, no motion, no motion, which feels, well, I won't say horrible, I'll just ask you how it feels to you.
But I can go that way, but I can also go the other way.
Absolutely.
Somehow it feels
Absolutely.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, for some of you, one will feel better, others, the other. So you see, me, because I'm basically a depressive person, and if I had my druthers, I would be like this all the time. So, like I did chuckling, and now I can just be depressed. I love it. Of course, somebody who's by nature a naturally positive person goes, chuckling, chuckling chicken. Oh, that's so nice. So, we've got the sunny nature of Hans von Ham lightening up our group. I don't think that's really true about me and Hans, but anyway, it's fun to joke around. Yeah, okay. So now we do a couple of them, and maybe even three, I have to think this out, wait a minute. Okay, let's not go there yet. Okay, so do 3 black notes, and do 2, 3, 4, okay? And again, either with just a totally bump on a log, inert torso, or a moving torso. It means a moving pelvis or an immobile pelvis. And just feel the differences between one and the other. And perhaps notice differences whether you do 3 chuckling chickens while you're rocking back, or 3 chuckling chickens while you're rocking forward. And take a break. Just notice how you're sitting, let your arms hang by your sides. It's amazing. You know, in awareness through movement, the classic Feldenkrais awareness through movement lesson, the teacher teaches the course and watches all the people doing it. But of course, I always do these while I'm working with you. So I do observe you, but I'm also doing the lesson myself. And like, after the first series of movements, I checked my sitting, and my right shoulder was down, my right arm actually felt longer than my left, and my weight was a little bit more on the right sits bone. And then after this series, it was all reversed. So you see, when you attend to the actual kinesthetic sensations of these pianistic movements, then all the time another part of you is recalibrating everything. If you give the motor cortex a chance, it will recalibrate. But the attention needs to simply be directed to the actual physical sensations. It's an amazingly rich learning process. So would you please do that with the other hand now? So right hand, just check out one chuckling chicken, either the second finger or some other finger if you don't do the thumb. Like that, and you try it. And sensing, if you don't rock the pelvis at all, it's almost impossible to do this without this sense of somewhere down there clenching. Can you feel that? And then can you feel that when you begin to allow the pelvis to respond, to move through the movement or with the movement or maybe opposite to the movement, that's now the musculature stays free down there, all around the sitting area, even if there's a very quick, vigorous flexion of one finger or maybe more fingers. Yeah. And then you do 2, 3, 4, like that. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. And then take a break again, take a little rest, see how you're sitting, see if the length of the perceived length of the arms has changed. Yeah. And then with the left hand, would you please do 4, 3, 2, chuckling chicken, but when you get to the end, you do chuckling chicken, chuckling chicken, chuckling chicken, and then the last one you end with a barmy bunny. So chuckling, chuckling, and like that. And you come back, but you come back with the finger curled tight. So stay, come back with the arm. Try that, please. Nice. Rock your pelvis, Christine Thomas. More if you can. Like exaggerate. Yeah, something like that. Can you do the first two, Christine O, with the heel of the hand sunk into the whites? So the heel of the hand sunk in the weights. Heel of the hand still sunk in the whites. And now, whoop, out it comes. All the way to the shoulder, right back here, somewhere near your ear. That's it. Great. Yeah. Good. So you can see where this is headed, right? We're headed towards doing a 3-note barmy bunnies in 2 ways. One would be to do a 3-note barmy bunnies the normal way, where the fingers end up in a fairly loose curve, where maybe the fingertips just touch the heel of the hand somewhere like this. So you try that with the body, please. Barmy bunnies, a loose touching. And then the chuckling chicken version, the fingertip comes in and touches the root of the finger. It does not touch the heel of the hand, it touches the root of the finger. And of course, that's a very different sound and it's a very different feeling. So you do a chuckling chicken, throwing the arm back, which is not the original way chuckling chicken was done, it's a variation. And then we go back to barmy bunnies, which is the fingers are much looser. And notice that there's a difference in the sitting. There's a difference in the combination of movements of the pelvis, which is different for a quick chuckling chicken than for barmy bunnies. And just notice whether one sends you further forward on your pelvis or one sends you further back on the pelvis. And notice whether the extra tension of chuckling chicken is pleasant because it's distributed through your entire system, or does it get unpleasant because those fingers are clenched so much. And see if you can find a way of getting those fingers into a pretty tight clench, but keeping it pleasant because something happens through the whole frame to distribute this higher elastification of the fingers. It's distributed through the entire system. So you pull the elastics more taut, but because the entire body is moving, it's still a pleasant experience. Please change hands. So Barbie bunnies with the right hand, and you can maybe even go cross body as a variation, and then a chuckling chicken version of Barbie bunny. So, and you see, it's a sharper sound. It's a more a Kalishnikov almost sound, right? And does the body go somewhere else? Yeah, it's funny, when I do the Barbie bunnies one, my fingers are curling tighter, and it's almost as if my tightly curling fingers pull me forward more. And when I do Barbie bunnies, it's like I tend more to go back. Something like that. That's just me, and that maybe won't be me in 5 minutes. I may do something else, but what are you noticing with yourself? Anything interesting? Yeah. Please keep doing that, and of course take a rest when you feel you need to, and compare the two sides. Okay, take a break. Any questions? Any observations? Yes, Hans.
Well, first of all, with where we started with the hanging arm,
Yeah.
it is much more obvious that something changes in the body, and it's very obvious. You can't do it. For me, it feels so logical to.
Yeah.
But this way, it's like one of the cardinal ways of moving the.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like this one.
That's
me.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When your legs go like this.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was very clear. But the other one, when my hand is here, there's no such big reason for moving the body, because your arm is still. Because
the whole arm is immobilized. It seems that the arm is immobilized.
Yeah. So that's first I started with doing this, and in fact it doesn't feel very strange when you don't move anything in your body. It doesn't feel bad anyway. Neither. It doesn't feel bad either. It feels okay. So I really have to think of, okay, I can also do something like that, but it's not first thing I need. But when I practice pieces, I do a lot of sit bones work. I use it a lot in my practicing and my pieces. So it's getting more and more incorporated. But in this exercise, I really had to look for it.
Great, thank you. That's very, very important observation and very apropos of what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. So I'm creating a little sheet of paper to insert into every Pianimals teacher's manual I send out now, where I add, like when you do chuckling chicken, when you do the cockatoo carol, where you do any of the lying down exercises, please do them in such a way that the body is not frozen. Yeah, like make sure whatever movement's going on in the hand ripples through back into the body. So what you showed is very important, because you said, no, I don't have to move my body. You just did this and bam, bam, it's fine. And that's because your neuromotor system, is already, there's actually micro movement. There's no movement, but there's micro movement there, just enough that you do this and it looks like you're still, but you remain free inside, okay? Right. So that's very good. And so for you to go to this, it's kind of like, well, geez, I don't really need it. Okay, let's do it. Let's try it out. But somebody who does this, and they feel this clenching going on in the torso or in the hip joints or wherever, then they really need this. They need this. They need this. They need to have this resonance in the body. So you're already at the end game where you sit there, you don't do anything, but there is resonance through your body. I can see it and I can hear it in the sound. Yeah, and most of you are probably there too, but for many students and many teachers who are new to Pianimals, I'm kind of worried about this because I didn't really stress it enough. So now in the Italian edition, I've added sentences to most of the first chapters, so that when you do any of these, like chuckling chickens, make sure that the elbow drops, or make sure that the elbow goes somewhere, or that the body moves the arms a little bit. So there's a sense of total freedom in this. It can be experienced as a tense movement, but if you're moving through, then there's just, it's free. Yeah. So
the whole arm is involved when I use this finger.
Yeah.
Ripples up through the arm, so I spread.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No finger isolation.
Yeah. So this ATM was designed to bring people who aren't there yet to this state where you can actually feel it moving through, even if you're not moving. Great. Thank you for that comment. Very valuable. Very apposite. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. So, and the other thing about this was that sometimes Barmy Bunnies isn't enough. Sometimes Barmy Bunnies gets a lovely bubbly sound, and yet we want a little more. And so that's when we bring in chuckling chicken. There's something else we could bring in, which is kind of. We can bring in even a kind of using a type of bird beak and using the forearms as drumsticks, which I didn't go to in this lesson, but could have as another variant. So that I was trying to get at as many different touches that are here in the Maikapar piece. So these two are sort of, and so it's not that it's right to play it one way or right to play it the other way. Like the standard Barmy Bunnies, where the fingers are hardly curved, or the chuckling chicken version of Barmy Bunnies, as you wish. And again, from piano to piano and from hall to hall, you may have to change from one to the other. All makes sense? Yeah, I'm sort of wondering whether chuckling chicken. This one here, which is, it's like doing the same thing but with a bird beak instead of chuckling chicken. Which chapter is this? Is this Cockatoo Carol, this one? That one? I don't have my book with me.
Cockatoo Carol is 30.
Yeah, I don't have my book with me. So is this Cockatoo Carol, this one here? Is the exercise, where is the exercise where you lay your heel on the key, you make your hand into a bird beak, and you peck the key without curling the fingers, just using a solid bird beak?
It's a wonky woodpecker.
Yeah, wonky woodpecker. Thank you very much. Yeah. So we could do the same thing as we did developing a version of chuckling chicken, which ends up being Barmy Bunnies. We could use a version of wonky woodpecker. Wonky woodpecker, which ends up becoming. Yeah. So again, would you please sit and try wonky woodpecker, where the heel of the hand is laying on the key and the hand is in a solid bird beak, some sort of bird beak, and then the movement comes from the wrist, right? Right? And do that without moving the body at all, and feel how pleasant or unpleasant that feels. And I'm afraid that all the people who get Pianimals are going to do it like that. And then try, as you're doing this little exercise, consciously moving forward or back on your sits bones. And then stop moving on your sits bones, and you feel, is there a greater tendency, grace, Could you bring the tip of your thumb closer to the tip of the finger so that the triangle is like the apex of the triangle is slightly higher? Not like that. That's good for you, Grace. That's a nice variation for you. Yeah. So I'm just like, I know this stuff, but still, like, I'm just demonstrating, and the difference I feel like I'm going, holy crap, there really is a difference. Like, I stop rocking and I go like this, and I just feel all tight inside. I feel like shriveled up, like a cherry that stayed on the tree too long and got dry. And then I let my pelvis go, and the sound changes. The sound becomes warmer, even though it's just still the same length. It's not. I don't understand why, but I know why. It's because the soundboard can feel how tense or loose my muscles are. And if I stop rocking, then everything gets tighter from the fingertip all the way up to the shoulder. Yeah. Is that true for you guys? Do you feel it?
Not really.
No?
There is a difference when you do this exercise and I do it, I think.
Yeah?
I watched your wrist, and it stayed at one place.
Yeah?
And when I do the exercise, I see my all. It's moving.
That's right.
So, see
That's right. So you're
there's something like this in it. My arm is also in.
That's right. So you're evading the need to bring the body in by doing something with the arm.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that. But okay, I see what you're doing. Would you do that, please, and then without rocking the pelvis, and then rocking the pelvis once through several and see whether you even notice the difference, even though I know you can.
Yeah. I tried already, but I will show you. And now I stop moving my. My upper, my body is still free.
Yeah.
I'm sitting more or less still, but
Yeah.
I think something is happening.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, is it different when you add this or not? Does anything change when you add the pelvis?
Well,
It's very good the way it is, and is it same or different? I'm not asking better or worse, it's just same or different.
Well, it's different in the sense that I have to think about, okay, Hans, now you are going, you have to do this, now you have to do that, but it's not more comfortable.
So sorry to force you to think.
It doesn't help me, sorry. I mean, I need some focus.
Yeah.
And when my disc is free, I think
Yeah.
I can play.
Yeah. Well, I think when you don't move I keep repeating this, but it's worth repeating one more time. It's not that you have to move your pelvis.
No.
It's that you have to be able to move your pelvis.
No.
So when you sit there and you just do this, I'm sure your pelvis is not locked.
Okay.
I'm sure your pelvis is ready to go. And that's why all this works so well. So this is more for people who have not quite got the feeling of just sitting there like a bump in the log, but actually the pelvis is ready to go.
Yeah.
Then okay, well if you don't really have that feeling, let's try rocking a little bit, and then later on just stay stiller and stiller and stiller, and then you notice, I'm still ready to go. I managed to do this, or your way without some clenching going on. So the clenching going on in all the musculature around the sits bones is kind of the indicator whether you're really ready to go or whether something is still holding you. Yeah?
But through all your lessons, a lot has changed because I'm so
Mm-hmm.
much more aware of the way I'm sitting behind the piano. I mean, when my hands go towards the piano, I know something shifting here.
That's right.
And when I go
So
that way, I'm aware of that all the time. So
it's a lovely integration, and
Yeah.
this is really,
yeah. So
great. So Tobias Matthias' book is called The Visible and Invisible in Piano Technique,
Yeah.
So the process you went through is the visible became invisible, but it didn't disappear.
Mhm.
It's still there, working for you. Yeah, which is it's a lovely, yeah, yes, Kathleen?
Well, I just wanted to thank you for bringing our attention to the soundboard and the fact that the soundboard knows, senses when, what the body is doing, even though we can't see the soundboard,
Yeah,
we can hear.
that's right.
That, I just really like that, when you can think beyond the black box. In my
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yes, Grace.
So by trying the variations of not moving and moving, reminds me of when I feel that I'm under pressure to turn my music quickly, I tend to sit very still. And
That's right.
when I finally had the chance to play more freely, I've been learning
Yeah. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but basically you said, you recognize that, that tense feeling when I'm under pressure. And it's nice to have like a conscious strategy, like, that's the feeling. And if I'm totally tense, I can do that and I will be, I'll get myself back in movement despite the pressure. Yeah. Great. Cool. Listen, thank you. Thank you, Grace, for bringing this piece, because this ATPM was a little bit different from the ones we've done in the past, and I think it's lovely to get a different taste in the ATPMs that we're developing here, and that was because of this lovely mica power piece. Yeah. And this actually brings us to the end of this 8-week cycle, which happened like over how many weeks, I don't even remember anymore, but it's been great. Of course, we're going to go on in the new year. We're going to break for Christmas and New Year's now, and Hanukkah, and no, Ramadan's later. And I haven't made a schedule for the first months of 2024, but I'll do that shortly, and I'll get it to all of you and to the rest of the larger group that have sometimes been sometime members. And there's been some requests to do a 8-week Pianimals online. So I'm traveling so much. It's like, but I'm going to try to schedule that as well. So thanks for this 8 weeks. It's been really, really lovely, very stimulating, and lots of contributions from all of you, lots of perceptivity and lots of great musicianship. Great pianism. So it's always special to share these newly developing ideas with you. And sometimes when the going gets tough, getting back to the body and getting back to the actual sensorial experience of playing is a lovely way to just feel like, I'm connected to this. I'm not like totally at sea. So I hope you spend the holiday season exploring that kind of a process.
Thank you everyone for your ideas.
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
Everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
And we see
Bye.
us
Thank you.
on
Happy
Tuesday.
holidays.
Yeah, I'll see Christine in 4 days, 5 days,
Yeah.
6 days, okay.
Find everything.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll send you clear instructions. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I love you all.
You all. Merry
Bye
Christmas.
bye. Bye, Alan.
Merry
Love
Christmas.
to everyone.
Bye-bye.